All right, good day everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of the Vise Squad, brought to you by Sea Run Flying Tackle. I'll have to apologize, I'm a few days late this week. Life got in the way with this craziness that's going on out in the world, and my wife and family and I are getting ready to move to a new house, so that's kind of exciting, but keeping us very, very busy. Anyway, this week I'm going to tie this little Peccary Caddis Nymph. It's got a CDC collar on it. I think it probably looked pretty good in the water. Let's clean that one up a little bit. There we are. Anyway, just a little guy. So in the vise, I'm going to put, this is a size 16, 2 extra long curved nymph hook. And it has a 7/64 flat black brass bead on it. And we're going to wrap it with some 70 denier UTC in black. We'll start that behind the bead. And we'll run it down to about where the hook point is, or the barb is, I'm sorry. And we'll snip our tag end off there. Now the body on this is called Peccary, and if you're unfamiliar with it, it's a really cool material. I love it. I think it's good. It's a really neat segmented look. I don't know how well that'll show up on the camera. I'll take some still photographs that Rick can throw in to the video so you can see exactly what the stuff looks like. So anyway, I'm going to pick off one of these hairs. And they're all a little different, so you'll never get two that really look the same. And typically I would maybe soak this in a bit of warm water for right now, because I didn't plan that ahead of time. I'm just gonna moisten it a little bit with my mouth. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tie that in at the tip of the hair, but not right at the tip, because it tends to split if you go too close to the end. So a couple sort of loose wraps I found help. If you don't cinch it down right at the very back end, that'll split the hair as well. So we'll just run that thread up towards the bead. We'll snip off the end of that bit of hair. And next what we'll do is we'll just build a little tapered body here with our thread. I'm not on my normal desk today, so hopefully that's not shaking too badly. And I think I'm sure we've covered it before. If you spin your thread counterclockwise, it lays it nice and flat. And the flatter you can get this body with the thread, the nicer your wrap with the Peccary is going to be. You won't get any lumps or bumps in it. So I think we're getting pretty close. We don't need to build that up either while we're talking about it. We don't need to build it all the way up to the front here, because I'm going to put a dubbing collar in here. So if you left it maybe a bead width behind there, it'd probably be ample. I'll just fill in a little gap here. All right, and we'll leave our thread up in the front here, and then I'm going to grab a hackle plier. I don't use these very often, but with this stuff I like to. These things come in all sorts of different shapes and sizes and different things. This is the one I picked this one up recently, and I really like how it holds onto it. It's nice and strong, but it doesn't break the material off. So then what we'll do is we'll just start wrapping, touching wraps moving forward, not pulling too tight, because it'll just pull it out of your plier and then unwind on the hook, and then you'll have to start all over again. And as you can see as we go, the different colors in that hair kind of give it a segmented look. Pretty buggy. Now, I'm in Canada. This stuff is just about impossible to find in Canada. If you're really interested, hit me up on Instagram. And I can point you in the right direction of the fellow that I bought this stuff from. Came from Italy. Given the current state of the world right now, that might be a little tough getting it now, but in the future I'm sure we'd be able to get more out of there. So anyway, what I've done there is I've tied that off just behind the bead, about a bead width behind. And I'm just gonna wrap back up to that, and that'll close up. There's a little gap in between here. If I just keep wrapping, that'll close that little gap up. And then I'm gonna snip my thread out and kind of cover that end of that hair up a little bit and clean it up, and I'm gonna leave it right behind the bead. Next, I'm gonna grab some Solarez bone dry, and I'm gonna give this body portion a light coat of that, add for durability, and it really kind of makes it stand out. Don't want to go too heavy on it, just make it look kind of sloppy in my opinion. There, how to do. I'll just cure that up quick. Alright, next I've got some olive colored hare's ear dubbing. I'm just going to take a little pinch. I chose this just because it's nice and coarse. Give it kind of that little buggier look maybe than a synthetic dubbing might. But we'll just put a little collar on there. Doesn't need an awful lot because we are going to wrap CDC collar in front of that, which will, this is kind of a dark dun color, kind of a dark gray. I'll grab one with, you don't need super long fibers on it. That'll do. And then I'm just gonna tie it in at the tip of the feather, so I'll just peel it back carefully and hold that in right behind the bead. And we'll give it a couple wraps on top and a couple in front to secure it in. Just trim that off close. Don't trim it off right down to your thread wrap, so it'll likely pull out. Alright, and we'll just lightly grab that feather. And we'll start spinning it around behind the bead, kind of pulling those fibers back towards the back end of the hook so you're not overwrapping them and trapping them in there. I think a couple turns is probably ample. I'll just reach in there and tie that off, not trapping any of the stuff we've already wrapped. Reach in there nice with our scissors, like so. And I'm going to pull all those little fibers to the back and just put a nice thread collar behind the bead. So we'll grab our whip finish tool and finish that off. And while we're doing that, we'll deal with the trivia question this week. And the trivia question this week is going to be super simple because I'm a little ill-prepared and I'm late. And I feel a bit bad about that. Whoever comments below on the YouTube feed here, whoever comments I want them first, can have them. I'll send a few of these out. And while we're at it, I believe, I'll have to confirm this, but I believe that there was the steelhead nymphs from a few episodes back that I did. I don't believe anybody answered the question for that one. It was kind of a tough question. So whoever wins these ones and wants to claim them, I'm going to toss them in with them because they're just sitting on my desk taking up space. And somebody ought to fish with them. So to finish it, now I'm just going to grab that bone dry again and just do a little coat on the thread wraps. just to secure them. And we'll cure it with our light again. While we're doing that, thanks to C-Run, thanks to Rick, it goes to 11. They're all doing such a great job, especially in these times. It's a lot of uncertainty out in the world today with the state of the virus and everything. And I hope you all stay safe. Wash your hands. Don't get sick. And if you do, stay home. Help prevent the spread of this lunacy. And there you have it. So I hope you all enjoyed it. If you liked it, please hit subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell, and you'll always be informed when we release new stuff. Thanks everyone. Take care of yourselves.